Hey folks, back with some more scale model content. This time we're talking about Tamiya or Tamiya model kits. Now, I know I'm known for my Mopar content. This is not a Mopar, this is Tamiya's version of a Porsche 911 GT2. I believe this is about a 95. But beyond doing a review of this particular kit, I just want to talk about Tamiya as a brand. But we'll dive right into it. Tamiya has been around for a very long time. I believe they originated from Japan. And their kits are genuinely good quality. I will say, if you're looking for Mopar content from Tamiya, you're going to be hard pressed. They don't make too many North American vehicles. On the Mopar line, they make the odd Jeep, I think Wrangler, the late 80s, early 90s YJ, first generation Grand Cherokee. I think they make a scale version of the Viper, and maybe a few others. But they do have slot cars and a pretty extensive RC line that does have some American offerings. But overall, if you're building, or you haven't built, but you're looking at building a Tamiya kit, I'll say this about all their kits in general that I've come across. And I've built a few over the years. They're very well thought out. As far as the instruction goes, they're pretty good. Now, the more confusing part for some is these instructions aren't necessarily English first. They basically take Japanese instructions and translate them. You'll find all kinds of languages here. I think there's some German, maybe a couple other languages. For that very reason, sometimes it gets a little confusing, depending on what language you're fluent in. You'll have to scroll through things until you find what applies to you. But overall, as far as the content itself, with this Porsche 911 and with all their kits, they're very well done. They don't compare in a good way. They don't compare to some of the North American based kits like Revell or AMT, MPC, any of these, in that Tamiya, I know some people pronounce it Tamiya, but Tamiya in general as a brand has been around a long time, but not nearly as long as some of these other model companies. So for that reason, their kits are usually first generation tooling, and they do a really good job of cleaning up things. So as you'll see right out of the box, you're not going to find issues with flashing. They don't really go for that. You know, all these parts are very crisp. Now, obviously, this is a first release version of this 911. But if this kit was a re-release of an older kit, it'd still be pretty much the same. You know, you're not going to see crazy amounts of flashing or you know, vague mold lines. All of their model kits in general are very well executed. They're very well done. It's not to say that they go together flawlessly. I think everything can have potential for issues. Every model maker, I should say. And to me is no different. Some things aren't as well done as others. But overall, like I said, detail is very fine. They get most of the details pretty bang on, especially with their you know, foreign vehicles, basically, like their Japanese vehicles, European stuff like Porsches, Toyotas, all that stuff. Their North American content, I've seen it. Some of their slot cars, and like I said, their 124 scale. They get a few details, I'd say, incorrect, but overall they're still pretty good. The couple of North American kits I built were both Jeeps. Were actually based on, I believe, European versions. I recall the Jeep YJ in particular, the Wrangler YJ. I think it's based off of a 90, 91, 92 YJ, something like that. And it was a European version, so it had some stuff that you wouldn't find on a North American version. Some side marker lights and such. But overall, we'll get back into this kit in particular. This is, like I said, a 911 GT2. It's kind of a club racer, a factory club racer version of the 911. Very well done. You got your roll cage here. Comes with a couple of spoiler options. This will kind of give you an idea of how Tamiya does their kits in general. Chrome tree, very sharp. Almost looks metallized if you see it in person out of the bag. I've had this out of the bag, or one like it, I should say. And of course, being Tamiya, there's the entire Tamiya line of modeling products, including paints. And what's great is they list all the equivalent paints and their respective paint numbers and names. So if you want to build them exactly like the box, you can do that using their paints. And their paints are pretty much nearly spot-on versions of factory match paints. You know, they don't necessarily carry the factory names. So with this one, for example, you can have chrome yellow. You can have this blue, which they call it Tamiya light blue. These would be equivalents to Porsche colors, like let's say Mexico blue or maritime blue, something like that. But if you talk to any modeler, they'll say pretty much the same thing. Chances are there's a Tamiya version of the factory color you're looking for, and their paints are very good quality. Their paints, their polishing compounds, everything. So anyway, this is the kit, and what's cool is it even comes with their kits come with tech tips that basically, you know, give novice modelers tips on how to build. Although it's a little bit funny because this kit here is suitable for ages 14 and up. They don't necessarily give it a skill level, but I would put their kits at about, I don't know, skill 3 to skill 5, depending on who you're comparing them to. So they're definitely not for the novice. But again, although sometimes you have to do, and it says right in the instructions that you'll have to do some modifications, like, you know, opening up little holes in the chassis and stuff like that. As far as cleaning up the parts, once you take them off the tree and you just kind of clean up the mounting parts, most of their stuff is pretty much perfect, or as perfect as the kit can get. Anyway, on that note, that wraps up Tamiya in general in this particular kit of the 911 GT2. This being the road version. They do have a race version, which is pretty similar. It just comes with some graphics and stuff. But again, if you're getting into modeling, or you're already into modeling, but you haven't built a Tamiya kit, if they have a particular vehicle, car, or they do military stuff as well, planes, you name it. If they have something that you're interested in, I do suggest you give them a try. Pick one up. They're great to build. I know they're more expensive, some of them, than your regular kits, but you will definitely notice the difference once you pull one out of the box. As always, thanks for watching my videos, and if I get another model on the bench, you'll be the first to see it. Thanks so much.